Have you ever wondered what really happens during cremation, beyond the polite whispers and brochures at the funeral home? It's one of those topics everyone is curious about but rarely asks. Because, well, it feels awkward. But today we're opening the door. Not literally, don't worry. To a behind-the-scenes look at cremation, how it works, what happens inside the chamber, and why so many families choose it today. We'll keep it respectful, informative, and yes, slightly humorous, because a touch of warmth makes learning about life's final chapter a little easier. Before we go any further, let's acknowledge something important. Cremation deals with loss, love, memories, and the final farewell. Even when sprinkled with a little gentle humor, every part of this story honors the dignity of a life lived. Think of this as the type of conversation you'd have with a wise friend who explains tough topics in a way that helps you breathe easier. So settle in. This may be one of the most fascinating things you learn this year. Why has cremation become so popular? Just a few generations ago, cremation was far less common. Many families preferred traditional burials for cultural, religious, or personal reasons. But in the last few decades, something changed. Cremation rates have skyrocketed around the world. For example, in countries like Japan, cremation is the standard, with rates above 95%. In the UK, Canada, and the US, it continues to rise every year. Why? There are a few reasons. First, cremation is usually more affordable than a traditional burial. You don't need a burial plot, full casket, or large funeral service unless you choose one. For many families, it provides flexibility. Ashes can be kept, scattered, buried, placed in a columbarium, or even turned into creative memorials like diamonds, art pieces, or reef structures in the ocean. Second, people are more mobile today. Family members live in different countries. Cremation makes it easier to honor a loved one without needing everyone to gather in one specific place immediately. And third, some choose cremation for environmental reasons. Cremation uses less physical land than cemeteries. Although it's not impact-free, newer, greener cremation technologies like water cremation, alkaline hydrolysis, are emerging. It's still seen as a simpler, lighter option. But what actually happens during cremation? Let's walk through the process step by step, starting before anyone even approaches the chamber. Before the cremation, preparation with care. Cremation is not as simple as rolling someone into a chamber and pressing a button. There's careful preparation, paperwork, identification, and procedures designed to honor the deceased. Once someone passes away, the body is transported to a funeral home or crematory. There is a chain of custody, similar to a respectful tracking system, ensuring the correct identity is maintained at every stage. This includes identification tags, documents, and sometimes digital tracking. Many people choose to have a viewing or memorial service before cremation. In cases where the body will be viewed, it may be embalmed and dressed, although embalming isn't required for cremation unless there's a public viewing. Clothing is optional. Some families choose a favorite outfit, while others select a simple gown provided by the funeral home. Now, here comes a detail people rarely talk about. Certain items can't go into the chamber. Anything that can explode or melt into a disaster simply isn't welcome. Pacemakers, for example, must be removed because they can burst like tiny fireworks, not the peaceful send-off anyone hopes for. Prosthetics with batteries, metal implants, or silicone enhancements must also be evaluated or removed. Nobody wants a cremation chamber that looks like a science experiment gone wrong. Jewelry is also removed because once cremation begins, metal melts, warps, or becomes nearly impossible to recover in original form. If a family wants jewelry to stay, the funeral director will gently warn them that the ring, necklace, or earring won't come out looking anything like it did going in. The body is then placed in a cremation container. This is not a coffin with brass decorations and velvet lining. Those are for burials. A cremation container is typically a simple, sturdy, combustible box made of materials like cardboard or wood. Its purpose is to make placement in the chamber respectful, safe, and clean. And now, the journey toward the cremation chamber begins. Entering the cremation chamber. What is it exactly? The cremation chamber, sometimes called a retort, is a large, industrial-grade, heat-resistant unit designed to perform cremation safely and efficiently. Picture a chamber made of heat-resistant bricks capable of enduring extremely high temperatures. This isn't your average home oven. This is more like a highly specialized, dignified piece of equipment reserved for one purpose: the gentle transformation of a body into ashes and bone fragments through intense heat. Temperatures inside the chamber typically range between 1400 to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to turn organic matter into mineral remains, but controlled and monitored with precision. The chamber is preheated before the container is placed inside. It may sound intense, and it is, but modern cremation technology is designed to be as efficient, safe, and respectful as possible. Some facilities use filtration systems to minimize environmental impact and improve air quality compliance. The cremation operator places the container into the chamber, usually using a special tray or device to guide it in carefully. The chamber door closes, and the cremation cycle begins. For the next few hours, a very controlled scientific process takes place behind that closed door. Inside the chamber, what actually happens? This is the part that most people are curious about but hesitant to ask. What actually happens when the cremation starts? Let's break it down gently, with clarity and respect. The first thing to understand is that cremation is not instant. It's not like lighting a match. It is a gradual process where heat evaporates and breaks down tissues, leaving behind bone fragments. During the early stage of cremation, the heat causes any remaining moisture in the body to evaporate. The human body is mostly water, so this step takes time. As heat intensifies, soft tissues are reduced. If you're imagining flames licking around like a campfire, that's not quite accurate. While fire is involved, the process is more about heat and airflow. The chamber is designed to circulate heat efficiently so that reduction happens evenly. Throughout this process, the skeleton remains intact for much longer than most people imagine. Bones don't simply disappear. What remains after the organic elements are gone are bone fragments, strong, mineral-based parts of our structure. Meanwhile, the cremation container burns away quickly, contributing to the heat. If any metal implants were left intentionally after evaluation, such as surgical pins, screws, or replacement joints, those will remain, but in altered form. The entire process usually takes 1.5 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the individual, the container, the temperature, and the equipment used. Once the cremation is complete, the chamber is allowed to cool before anything is handled further. Imagine trying to take cookies out of the oven at 600 degrees, not happening. Cooling is essential for safety and respect. When the chamber is cool enough, the remains are removed. After cremation, from bone, fragments, to ashes. Here's another moment where expectations and reality differ. What comes out of the chamber is not yet the ashes you see in a decorative urn. Instead, the remains consist of bone fragments and any non-organic materials that survived the heat. The fragments are placed into a device known as a cremulator. Its job is simple: gently refine the bone fragments into a fine, consistent powder, what we commonly refer to as ashes. There's no harsh grinding. Modern machines are designed for dignity and efficiency. This is also when any metal remnants, like surgical pins or implants, are separated and collected. In many places, these metals may be recycled, sometimes even donated for medical or environmental use. After processing, the cremated remains, now a soft, grayish, ash-like powder, are placed into a temporary container or directly into an urn chosen by the family. The average adult produces between 4 to 8 pounds of cremated remains. From here, the family can choose what they'd like to do next. Some keep the urn at home, others bury it in a cemetery, place it in a columbarium, or scatter the ashes in meaningful places, depending on legal rules, of course. Because while Grandma's favorite park might seem perfect, local authorities do like a say in where ashes go. The emotional side of cremation. Beyond the science, heat, and step-by-step process, cremation is deeply personal. For some, cremation represents a return to simplicity, a final transformation into earthly elements. For others, it offers peace, flexibility, and a way to honor wishes without a heavy financial burden. Some choose cremation to avoid the idea of a traditional burial. Others want ashes to be shared among family, creating multiple small memorials rather than one physical location. Many families find comfort in the idea that ashes can travel with them if they move. In a world where loved ones live across continents, cremation keeps connection possible. There is also a growing trend of turning ashes into keepsakes. People create jewelry, glass art, vinyl records, coral reefs, fireworks, and even planted memorial trees using ashes. It's a unique way of honoring a life with creativity and meaning. And for those who prefer tradition, ashes can still be buried in a cemetery or placed in a mausoleum. Cremation doesn't eliminate those options. No matter the choice, the goal remains the same: honoring a life with love, respect, and remembrance. It might feel strange to include humor when discussing cremation, but gentle humor can help us look at life and death with kindness and acceptance. For example, imagine someone planning ahead and telling their family, "If you turn me into a memorial wreath, at least make sure the fish appreciate my good looks." Or the classic, "Don't put my urn on the edge of the shelf. I'd like to stay in one place this time." A little lightness in a heavy topic reminds us that love doesn't end, and memories often come with laughter. Cremation is a blend of science, respect, tradition, and personal choice. It takes place in a specialized chamber designed to carefully transform a body into ashes through heat and time. The process is handled with dignity and attention at every step, from preparation to the final handover of the ashes to the family. Understanding what happens behind the scenes can bring comfort. It removes the mystery and helps us make informed decisions for ourselves and the people we care about. Talking about end-of-life choices isn't easy, but it's one of the most meaningful conversations we can have. And if there's one message to take from this video, it's this: there is no right or wrong choice, only the one that feels right for you and aligns with your values, beliefs, and wishes. Thank you for staying with me through this thoughtful journey. If you're still here, it means you care about knowledge, preparation, and giving life's biggest moments the respect they deserve, even when wrapped in a little warmth and humor. We love hearing from our community. Let us know what you think and please share your experience in the comments below. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. As always, take care of yourself and thanks for watching.